Thank you, Rod. Ready for the annual Labor Day rematch. The Battle of Alberta moves north. Stamps looking for the sweep. Eskimos trying to get even to close out our CFL triple header here in Edmonton and at the Brick Field at Commonwealth Stadium.
Two All-Stars back in the lineup tonight, one per team. Let's start with the Edmonton Eskimos. Darrell Walker, just shy of 2,700 yards receiving and 16 touchdowns in 2 seasons with Edmonton. He's back with his old friend Mike Riley, and defensively, the Calgary Stampeders get Charleston Hughes back in the lineup. He still leads their team in sacks, missed 2 games due to injury.
Dave Dickinson's Stampeders have won 6 straight, trying to match the Eskimos' season best 7-game win streak, and they've won a club record 13 consecutive against West Division opponents. And there's Jason Moss, who's been stressing more discipline, fewer turnovers, and a better start as the Green and Gold try to snap their 3-game losing skid. Stamps won the toss. They want the football. Nice night here at Commonwealth. Temperature 16 as Hugh O'Neill kicks it off, and Tunde Adeleke will return it for the Stampeders up across the 30-yard line and driven down by Gary Peters. Here comes Bo Levi Mitchell in game number 100 of his CFL career.
62nd start, and his record 51-8-2, the best winning percentage of any quarterback over that period. And Bo Levi Mitchell just finds a way. A guy who in the Labor Day Classic did not throw a touchdown pass, and yet found a way to win it.
Stadium allowed to start. Jerome Messam will try and quell that as he drives ahead across the 40-yard line. Messam with 6 straight games of 60+, and he starts with 7 on that carry.
Number 1 receiver for Bo Levi Mitchell in the Labor Day Classic was Davaris Daniels. Daniels, the number 1 receiver on the team right now as they go through some injuries of their own. And if you take a look at the offensive line, I've highlighted Shane Bergman. He's back in the lineup, missed last week, and Brad Erdos, and both will be facing 2 good interior pass rushers for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Second and 3, Mitchell back to throw. Here comes that pressure over the middle, and behind the intended target, Daniels. It'll be a 2-and-out to start for the Stampeders here tonight. Calgary with an 11-0 lead after their first 2 possessions on Monday.
We always talk, Chris, about the Calgary Stampeders and how dominant they've been in the Labor Day Classic. They've been pretty good in this game, too, in the rematch.
9 wins in their last 10 visits. Rob Maber to kick it away. Jamil Smith runs up on this one. Just a 40-yard punt, and Smith's got a good return up over the 40-yard line. 11 on the bring back to set it up for Mike Riley, who last year in the rematch threw for 432 yards.
Well, and he's got Darrell Walker back, makes a very good receiving core even better, with the Darius Bowman returning last week from injury, so this is game 2 for him. Brandon Zylstra and Duke Williams out there. Darrell Walker makes a good receiving core even better.
Well, Darius Perkins in the backfield. He gets the carry up over the 45-yard line, and Perkins has 5 to start the offense out.
Big play receiver down the field. Mentioned the 2,700 yards in 2 years with Edmonton. Didn't work out in Tampa, so Darrell Walker is back for the rest of the season and makes that receiving core that much more explosive. And I highlighted Colin Kelly. He's going to go up against Charleston Hughes a lot tonight.
Give Perkins 6, second and 4. Riley short drop. Nothing there, and here comes the heat. Underneath it's Bowman, and he gets pushed out short of the first down.
Darius Bowman pushed out of bounds at the 49-yard mark, a 2-yard gain. Looks like it'll be 3rd and a couple for the Eskimos.
So third and a couple, and Hugh O'Neill will come out.
Charlton Hughes getting involved early.
And back goes Roy Finch, who lit it up with a 90-yard punt return touchdown last week. O'Neill, line drive kick that bounces out of bounds to make sure that Finch isn't able to return one early. A 52-yard punt with no return. Bo Levi Mitchell, as Glenn mentioned, did not throw a touchdown pass last week, but just finds a way to win. Now 51-8-2 as a starter for the Calgary Stampeders. Bo Levi Mitchell was 19 of 27, 277 last week against Odell Willis and the Eskimos. A convincing win, and yet he said he was a little disappointed. High standards even at 8-1-1. Stamp striving to get better. Deep field position start here. Mitchell stands up, looking deep for Martin Michel, and he can't make the catch as he cut inside Marcel Young.
Let's take a look at those two interior guys. Armando Sewell back now a couple games from injury, but Euclid Cummings comes back into the lineup tonight and will play right beside him, and together very difficult to block. You can't double team one or the other, and that opens up space for Odell Willis. Kenny Ladler has been their playmaker, leads the team with 71 defensive plays, and Mercy Maston in the secondary was hurt in warm-up, so they'll play back up Chris Edwards at the corner. Gary Peters faces DeVaris Daniels tonight.
It would have been the first time they had the same secondary for consecutive games, but that doesn't happen, and Markley McDaniel finds room in that secondary for a first down catch.
Bo Levi Mitchell right now just working that pocket nicely. Those subtle movements left and right, stepping up into the pocket, buying himself an extra second or two. Frustrates the defensive line. That's why his offensive line, even though it's gone through all kinds of changes due to injury, lead the league in sacks allowed, lead the league in pressures allowed.
Eskimos didn't have a sack last week. First time in 8 games that's happened. To the outside for Daniels, bumped out by Marcel Young. And it's a 6-yard pickup to the 40-yard line.
Well, you know, there's two things here. One is that I mentioned that subtle movement, the way he manages the pocket. He's the best in the business at it. Bo Levi Mitchell will just subtly move to his left, shuffle over, or buy a little bit of time one way or the other. But he also, that recognition when he reads the defense and gets it out of his hands. So quickly, you'll watch it. He'll take that shotgun snap, and in about a second and a half, 2 seconds, it's out of there. He knows where he wants to go with the ball, and he delivers it.
Just 5 pressures for the Eskimos against Mitchell last week. 2nd and 4, the handoff to Messon, and tough to bring down, but they rule forward progress, and no gain. And the interior of that defense looks stouter so far tonight as Euclid Cummings gets in the ear of Randy Richards early.
Well, that's why I highlighted him off the top. I mean, they're going to make a difference tonight, especially in the run game. A little bit of a low snap. The timing maybe a bit off on that play, but see Armando Sewell, Odell Willis, he's getting double teamed and pushed, and they get it from the inside out.
Got the power and takes an inside look.
So Maver to punt to Jamil Smith. Better kick. Smith from the 29, a 46-yard punt. Smith trying to get outside. A flag comes down, and he gets dragged down. Could not turn the corner against Winton McManus. So Darrell Walker back in the Empire, and we'll have a report on his re-signing with the Eskimos when we come back. Scoreless first quarter in the Labor Day rematch. 2 years in the CFL, 2-time All-CFL wide receiver back in the lineup for Edmonton with more. Here's Ryan Rishaug.
Chris, you know that Darrell Walker was going to have all kinds of options upon returning to the CFL. Pretty much everybody had their hat in the ring, but he said it was, for the most part, a no-brainer. He was going to be returning back here to the Edmonton Eskimos, and one of the biggest reasons why, continuity with the quarterback. Has so much respect for Mike Riley, the way he leads this team, and he said that few things are more important when you're making that decision than the guy you have to work with at the quarterback position. Tons of respect and chemistry between these two.
109 catches last year. A pass over the middle is caught. And that's Calvin McCarty with the catch across the 20-yard line.
Well, pretty impressive what Darrell Walker did as an Edmonton Eskimo over a couple of years. 30 games played, 198 catches. I mentioned just shy of 2,700 yards. 12 times over 100 yards. Remember this game last year, his big play.
Actually, the first play from scrimmage for the Eskimos, a 104-yard touchdown. So he's behind last year's pace in this game. Perkins gets stuffed on second down as the interior of that Calgary defensive line flexes its muscles. Junior Turner in the midst of it.
Well, based on what we saw on the Labor Day game, that Mike Riley is going to have to keep pace. I know we're at zeros right now, but keep pace with this Calgary offense, one. But two, play a clean game. They can't self-destruct some of these penalties they're getting. The most penalized team in the league coming into this week is the Edmonton Eskimos. They take those penalties, especially on first down, puts them in a hole. Can't do that against good teams.
Second straight 2-and-out should give Calgary good field position. O'Neill's punt. Here's Finch from the 41-yard line. Roy Finch cuts it back inside and then gets swarmed as he lost a couple on that cutback inside the 45-yard line.
Labor Day, 19 of 27, 277, no touchdowns, but found a way to win. And there's his 51-8-2 record. Winning percentage at .852. You're looking at the best winning percentage in the history of the game.
Strange to review the stats from last week and see that the Stampeders only had the ball for 25 minutes and 4 seconds, which is usually a total that would be on a losing side.
Yeah.
They got out in front early and made the Eskimos try to play catch-up. Not sure if that was cleanly executed. Ball comes loose. That play dead or not as the ball popped into the hands of Gary Peters.
Oh, Odell Willis wants to challenge, even if it's ruled that he was down by contact, and DeVaris Daniels stays down. Yeah. That play was an issue.
The ruling on the field is that the Calgary ball carrier was down by contact prior to the fumble. Second down.
DeVaris Daniels' right leg was wrapped underneath as he got twisted back over the pile.
So the key weapon for Bo Levi Mitchell getting attention will step aside. Still scoreless here early in Edmonton. Well, Daniels to his feet, wow. And looks like he's going to be okay.
That is a great sign because this did not look very good. I mean, take a look at his right leg. He gets hit from behind. That right knee is down by contact now, first of all, if you're wondering about that. But from an injury perspective, he gets peeled back over with his leg planted. It did not look good at all, but good sign that he's walking off. Get more assessment there on the sideline.
No gain on the hitch, and so it will be 2nd and 10 from the Calgary 45-yard line. Here comes pressure. Mitchell gets away and throws deep, a jump ball, and Kohler can't make the catch as Gary Peters recovered.
Well, a jump ball, but because it took a while to develop, and Bo Levi Mitchell had to find a way to get out of there. So he peels out of the pocket, but by the time that happens, now there's two receivers right next to each other, and one DB, and Gary Peters is able to cover both. See Parker and Kohler right side by side.
So each team with a pair of 2 and outs so far in this scoreless opening quarter. Neighbors punt, short. Smith fields it just inside the 30, and might have the edge, but Adeleke, what a terrific contain by the rookie to make sure Jamil Smith couldn't cut it upfield.
We'll see what the flag is, but that's the second time Edmonton's tried a wall return, trying to go to the wide field and do what Calgary did to them on Labor Day, get a punt return touchdown.
No yards. Calgary, number 21. 15-yard penalty. First down, Edmonton.
So Anthony Woodson within that 5-yard halo. That will improve the field position for Mike Riley, looking for the Eskimos' initial first down of this game. Edmonton with only 13 points in the first 3 quarters of their last 2 games, and only 3 first quarter points in the 3 losses. In the pocket, and that one knocked down. Jameer Thurman gets a hand on it.
Mike Riley looking over the middle. Looks like he was trying to hook up with
One member of a very good linebacking core for the Calgary Stampeders. Charleston Hughes back in the lineup after missing a couple of games due to pulled muscle in his quad. Said in the elevator today in the hotel that he feels pretty good, but he won't know for sure until this game starts. 2 interceptions for Shaq Richardson, another member of that linebacking core, and Tommy Campbell will face Darrell Walker.
Alex Singleton, Shaq Richardson, both players of the week after their performance. That's how good that linebacking core was. And they get to Riley here, but flags down. Looks like Calgary had jumped ahead of the snap.
I think it might have been Alex Singleton trying to come on a blitz and got up there in tight.
Singleton 13 tackles
Offside.
last week.
Calgary, number 49. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
flag against number 49, Alex.
Watch him step into it, and now just beside Jameer Thurman. Got caught in the neutral zone, and Devon Claybrooks not happy with that offside.
So 2nd and 5. Riley to the wide side of the field, and catch is made there by Duke Williams. Drilled up near the first down stick. See where they spot the football. Is going to be short by about a yard.
Here's our first down marker.
Labor Day didn't see the ball a lot. Duke Williams was just targeted 4 times. He had just 1 catch in that game. Mike Riley out to the wide field now, trying to get him involved early.
So 3rd and 1, 19 of 21, and 3rd down, and a good surge there. In behind David Beard, who gets the start at left guard in place of Danny Crew.
And Simeon Rotier, so they go through the...
So they're to their number 3 man on the depth chart, that left guard. 2nd start for him. Calgary Stampeders know all about changes on the offensive line.
Yeah, absolutely, and some receivers as well. There's both these teams been hit with injuries.
Beard, a University of Alberta Golden Bear graduate. That's the initial first down for Edmonton, and now Riley taking a shot. Wants Zylstra, and in his hip pocket was the veteran Brandon Smith.
Mike Riley looking for the home run.
Just taking a look and watching Charleston Hughes come off the ball. He doesn't look like he has maybe that exact snap in his step that he normally takes, and what he is demanding, though, from the Edmonton Eskimos is help. And you see the double team that Edmonton goes to, brought in Corey Watson to help out to block him. So even if he's not at 100%, Charleston Hughes still, you have to game plan for him offensively.
Last 2 times he's come off an injury to play, he's had a 3-sack game. Riley going to take another shot, but through to the opposite side of Bowman. Bowman looking one way, Riley threw it the other, and the punt team will have to come on.
Well, I'm not surprised that Mike Riley takes some shot deep. First of all, he's got the receivers to go get it. Secondly, he's done that all season. I mean, he and Ricky Ray lead the league in completions past 20 yards coming into this week of the season. He'll take his shots down the field. And why wouldn't you when you have Bowman and Darrell Walker?
Whoa, high snap. O'Neill's got to go back to get it. And he'll eat it inside the 20-yard line.
Self-destructing mistakes.
Those are the mistakes that the Eskimos try to eliminate. Levi Stanauer too high for O'Neill. And Calgary's going to take over in the red zone. Leading rusher in the league, Jerome Messam. Everybody gets pumped up for the Battle of Alberta, but he says this isn't any bigger than any other game.
No, I wouldn't say so. I just love winning regardless. So whoever lines up in front of me, I want to beat them, whether it be the guys from down the street or a team from a province across the country. So, you know, it's a little bit more bragging rights, I'd say, but kicking butt's kicking butt.
That kind of sums it up.
Kicking butt's kicking butt. Doesn't matter if it's down the street or across the country.
I don't know if those guys down the street can hang with the 8-1-1 Stampeders, but the guys from the same province are going to try and do it here tonight.
Took this game to overtime last year.
First big opportunity of the game goes to Calgary after that turnover by the Eskimos. Calgary, the leaders in that department, at +17. And it's a pass for Prescott, and he gets stood up and worked over. They're trying to rip it out of there. And did they? No, he's got it. It'll be second down.
Juwan Brescasson is in right now for Tavares Daniels, getting a chance to get some more reps. That runs a nice timing out here. Ball on time, which is why he was able to turn around and protect himself from the hit from Chris Edwards. Remember, the Edmonton Eskimos are going to play with Chris Edwards, their backup DB, because of that injury in warm-up tonight.
Got 6, second and 4. Strange a team as dominant as Calgary, number 7 in the red zone. Mitchell out of his hands quickly, but incomplete. Markway McDaniel couldn't bring it in. Marcel Young was on the scene defensively. And the Stampeders will send the field goal unit out.
This team is well balanced, Chris, as we've talked about before and last week in the Labor Day Classic. So sometimes even if Bo Levi Mitchell hasn't thrown a touchdown pass or they're not as good in the red zone, their special teams will come up with a big play from Roy Finch or their defense. We saw a couple of interceptions last week from Shaq Richardson. Really turned the tide in that game as well. So they find ways to win in all 3 phases of the game.
Ronnie Paredes from 20 yards out. Up and through. And the Stampeders strike first. Let's join Ryan Rashog with an injury update.
Yeah, Chris, the devastating injuries continue to mount for the Eskimos. It's been that kind of season. You guys mentioned Mercy Maston injured in warm-up. Just got word from Eskimo PR. It's an Achilles tendon injury, and he is done for the season. So another devastating injury rocking this Eskimo lineup, guys.
Well, Marcus Howard already out for the season as well. They've lost Johnny Adams. Josh Woodman. This is safety number 3 in their secondary with Koshi Mwama playing tonight for Neil King and Josh Woodman.
28 different starters on defense for the Eskimos. This has been a tough weekend for injuries. Starting with last night's to Travis Lulay. There's a completion to Darrell Walker. back in the league and back in the sights of Mike Riley. That's catch number 199 in 2 full seasons, and this his first game back.
Got him out here in the bunch formation with Darius Bowman. He sits down on the curl route.
First and 10 from the 46. Fake to Perkins. And it is Zylstra. And Zylstra works his way across midfield to the Calgary 54, close to another first down.
Boy, he was hot. He was hot in the Labor Day game in losing effort. Zylstra with 9 catches, 127 yards in that one, and a touchdown. Was targeted 14 times. It was the guy that Mike Riley was leaning on.
So he's 5th in the league in receiving. Darius Bowman has been the top receiver in the league 2 of the last 3 years. Now you add Darrell Walker. And this receiving corps on paper looks scary. And the quarterback that gets the ball isn't bad either. First down. And out of the backfield, it's Perkins, tracked by Jameer Thurman. Nice defensive play, but potentially it's a scary unit.
Yeah, they got to go and earn it. They've got to go and earn it before you anoint them the #1 receiving corps in the league. But, you know, you throw in a healthy Corey Watson as a Canadian in that group, you're looking at a lot of firepower. And all 3 can stretch the field. Duke Williams' specialty is to win the jump ball.
Passing down here, 2nd and 7. Riley, quick hit. He's got Bowman, first down.
And what it forces Devon Claybrooks and his group to do defensively, even though this, I've said before, collectively maybe the best secondary across the board in the league, the Calgary Stampeders, but it makes them cover the entire field, the entire width of the field, and the entire length of the field behind them. You can't roll coverage one side or another to try and take away Bowman possibly, or Darrell Walker, or that side.
#1 pass team in the league against the #2 pass defense. Edmonton trying to put together a first quarter drive here. And Perkins up the middle for short yardage. Thurman there to fill the hole once again. And that's the final play of the opening quarter. The Battle of Alberta resumes. Calgary strikes first and has a 3-0 lead after 15 minutes in Game 3 of our triple header. Lots of firepower, but not much fireworks so far.
Yeah, we've been taking the first quarter to set up all the great weapons that both these quarterbacks have offensively, and yet it's the defenses that stepped up in the first quarter. Having said that, we've got 2 of the premier rush ends in the league, and Odell Willis and Charleston Hughes in this game as well tonight.
Eskimos lost 37 yards on that bad snap on the punt that caused points for Calgary, but looks like they've got something going here offensively.
Yeah, but they've got to eliminate those type of mistakes, the mistakes that they can avoid. You know, the bad snap, a penalty at the wrong time. That's how good teams just kind of wear away and grind you down until they beat you in the 3rd and 4th quarter. And Mike Riley understands that. He's got a little bit of a drive going. 2nd and long here, 2nd and 7.
Ball at the Stamp 37. And the slant pattern is complete. There's Walker again. He'll move the chains.
He's making an impact out of the gate. He's going to get some press coverage. See him at the top here. Got some press coverage. And he just a couple of shuffle steps off the line. Gets himself a little bit of separation on Deontay Evans.
200th CFL catch for Walker, his 2nd of the game. Last year combined for 3,310 yards with Darius Bowman. Riley throwing. He's got a man open. And Walker's got another catch. Tommy Campbell brings him down, but he's making an immediate impact.
Well, and that's what Ryan said on the sideline, that the reason, even though every team in the league kicked the tires as he became available coming back from the NFL, that it was a no-brainer for him to sign with the Edmonton Eskimos because of the chemistry with his quarterback, Mike Riley. Now press again up at the top. First and goal.
Here's Riley for Calvin McCarty, and he hurdles down to the 2. Jamar Wall in on the tackle.
I think that time Darrell Walker kind of pointed to himself because he may have run the wrong route that allowed Santi Evans to step up and make the tackle on Calvin McCarty here. McCarty gets his swing pass, and Evans should have been covering Darrell Walker, should have ran him off.
And he did talk about having to get back into the playbook and make sure he had everything down, but has only been here less than a week. 9th play of the drive, 2nd and goal from the 2. And they'll give it to Walker. He sidesteps one to the corner, touchdown.
Jason Moss gets him a play, a red zone play to number 87. This isn't a read progression from Mike Riley. This is the design play inside the 5-yard line. Give it to 87. Let him do the heavy lifting from there, coming from this side. This is a fly sweep. We've seen it every team in the league do it, but a couple of nice moves to freeze defenders in that spot and then bounce it outside.
Now that would have been a little deeper in the playbook for Darrell Walker. In here less than a week, and the convert has been missed. Chris Milo misses the convert. Takes a little edge off the touchdown, but the Eskimos have a 6-3 lead. 9-play drive, 75 yards. Darrell Walker was active in it, including the finishing touch on the 2-yard run on the fly sweep. First career rushing touchdown for Darrell Walker. Hey, Chip Cuthbert from Grand Prairie's a winner.
Wait a second. Is that allowed? Here, let's take a look at the touchdown again. Darrell Walker. Usually in the fly sweep, receivers will try and outrun DBs to the corner. I want to show you the great move he does to try and freeze Jamar Wall and the defenders. He comes out now. He's not going to try and sprint. See, he doesn't sprint here. He kind of dips in and then comes back around. And look at Jamar Wall bite on that little fake and then lose his angle, and that allows Darrell Walker to get in the end zone. Great run and move to freeze 3 defenders.
There's Roy Finch on the return. Bounces off first contact. Boy, he makes every return fun.
He just got hit.
Jay's been busy on special teams in recent weeks down there to help contain Roy Finch.
Listen to Dave Dickinson this week on the radio in Calgary and talking about Roy Finch and how he's 170 pounds, but the guy plays with unbelievable courage. And he said, you know, returners are a different breed anyway. This guy's special. In fact, Dave Dickinson compared Roy Finch to Gizmo Williams.
There's no higher praise for a returner than that. Mitchell trying to get this offense going, and he's got a completion. His favorite target, Marquay McDaniel. Koshi Mwamba, the safety, there to make the tackle, but a first down for Calgary.
Put 3 into the boundary and get Marquay McDaniel to just straight up the field, find that soft spot, and then sit down in it.
No Kamar Jordan, and now Tavares Daniels out of the game. Lamar Durant's hurt, so that receiving core gets thinner. But Stampeders have continued to find a way. Messam straight ahead, he gets stuffed. And Armando Sewell celebrating, and he's got a little help, as you mentioned, with Euclid Cummings inside, and that defensive line should be better tonight.
Well, 22 quarterback pressures in the passing game from Sewell and Cummings together. So when you add up that, when they try to throw the ball, Calgary does, that helps Mike Benavides' group. But against the run and against Jerome Messam, the big back, boy, they're solid in the middle there.
2nd and 10. Mitchell in trouble, lost the ball. Who's got it? Bo Levi Mitchell stripped to the football, but Calgary gets back on it.
Watch Armando Sewell here. Just knock the hands down of Shane Bergman. Give Mitchell all kinds of problems right down the middle. Ball stripped.
Christoph Malumba-Chimanga knocked that ball loose.
He wants to be in the police service when he's done. That would be frightening. If he pulled you over, excuse me, sir, can I see your driver's license, registration?
That'll lower the crime rate. Ball bouncing out of bounds without a return at the Calgary bench. A 32-yard punt. Armando Sewell, as strong a guy as there is in the league, flexing on that series, helping to get the football back for the Eskimos. Back at Commonwealth, the Eskimos with a 6-3 lead, and Ryan Rashog with a special guest.
Yes, thank you very much, Chris. Corporal Melanie Harris heading to the Invictus Games later this month in September. Melanie, 4 tours, 20 years in the Army Reserves. You spent a couple tours in Afghanistan. The Invictus Games are all about helping our servicemen and women overcome things and compete for their country again. What injuries did you suffer, and what do you hope these games do for you?
Well, I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, and I also have a chronic back injury. So focusing on something new and training and learning new adaptive sport is really helping in my recovery with both PTSD and chronic back injury.
What will it mean to you to represent your country in this way?
I am so excited. This is great. This is an international sporting event. I am excited to cheer on my fellow competitors, for one thing. It's going to be a great show in Toronto, 23 to 30 September. And we've got great things lined up, great musicians coming to help us out. And I'm going to be inspired by the other athletes, and it's going to be a wonderful experience.
Competing in archery and seated volleyball. Best of luck. Thank you for your service and enjoy the games.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's 20-year service member Melanie Harris, Chris.
Yeah, speaking of inspiring, and we wish her well and all the athletes who will take part, as she mentioned, from the 23rd to the 30th in Toronto. 2nd and 10, Riley cutting that. He's got complete across midfield to the Stampeder 52. Deontay Evans, the tackle. 18-yard pickup.
Great time here for Mike Riley. Colin Kelly off the edge takes Jagarrett Davis and runs him down inside. They don't allow the pressure to get to him. Riley has a nice throwing lane. That's a tough throw to complete. It's down the field. It's to the sideline. He needed that lane to step up in there. The O-line took care of things for him up front.
First down, 4 receivers to the wide side, over the middle. It's dumped in there to Duke Williams. And another Edmonton first down as he somersaults his way to the 26.
I think this was a change in a formation from Jason Moss, because watch how the Stamps react here. Charleston Hughes off the edge, and you got Thurman at linebacker. Watch how they slide to the left, thinking this is just going to be play action or screen left, and 26-yard gain to Duke Williams over the middle from Riley.
2 catches for Williams, 5 different receivers with 2 catches or more for Edmonton so far. Riley, and he's got another receiver, Alex Dupuis, 7th different Edmonton Eskimo pass catcher in this first half.
Well, some questions about Darrell Walker and whether or not, he would have some rust coming back after teams in the league have played 10 games. and being thrown right into the lineup. But I would suggest that he hasn't been sitting on the couch for the last month and a half. He's in great football shape, and he knows this offense, and he knows his quarterback.
Second and short, and Perkins gets stuffed, nowhere to go. As that's closed down. And at the bottom of the pile, Jagarrett Davis.
And now if you're Carson Walsh, the offensive coordinator working with Jason Moss, now you're saying, okay, Brandon Zylstra is in this play package our #1 read. When we want to do that jump ball, that contested throw down the sideline, we'll go to Duke Williams on that. Darius Bowman can do all of those things. And we just added Darrell Walker.
Here's Milo, who missed the convert. His first field goal last week, he was 2 for 2, but one was a line drive knuckler. Just back out of retirement, he puts that one through. And it's a 9-3 lead. By the way, it's the first lead for the Eskimos in 4 games. Their longest skid without a lead since 1971. Coming up at halftime on the GMC Professional Grade Playbook, Henry Burris on running flat routes off zone reads. Congratulations to Hank, number retired earlier tonight.
A lot of options on the flat route. We saw one caught by Calvin McCarty for Edmonton. Marquay McDaniel very good at that flat route. Sometimes it's a back, sometimes it's a slot back.
Here's the pitch to Messon, gets a block. Crashes up to the 40. Just 2 first downs so far for the Stampeders and 47 yards of offense in this first half.
Gary Peters slow to get up. That secondary getting caught up in that hit and rolled by his own, well, in the tackle. Euclid Cummings was in there tackling Jerome Messam and rolled on Gary Peters. And keep in mind, Mercy Masson out. Chris Edwards took his spot. Look at 34, just to the middle of the left of your screen there, and he gets rolled on.
And if you're just joining us, Mercy Maston was to start on the corner tonight, injured in warm-up, so a late scratch, and the secondary taking another hit here. With Darrell Walker, the Eskimos now with 76 players who have suited up so far this season. It ties the high in Eskimo history, which was back in 2012.
Yeah, and more than they had all of last year. And again, we talked about Calgary being hit with some of these as well. They've gone through 66 players. Not
and almost as many on IR.
Yeah.
Not as many on IR now, but the numbers very similar.
Hate to see it, but it gives another player an opportunity. Jordan Hoover gets a chance at a Waterloo rookie, and now they're going to have to just get him wired in. He's going to play the wide corner right now.
Play the field corner. 2nd and 5. Let's see if they Sam patted inside, and a catch made there by Brescison, his 2nd of the game, and he has the first down.
Well, you gotta think that Dave Dickinson's going to look out there and see if there's a way to maybe test Hoover out on the outside in that wide corner. One way to do it, to get the ball to your receiver on that side, is to bring in that bunch formation. Get that wide receiver near the hash mark rather than outside the numbers. We'll see if they test him.
Roy Finch with a dash, and Finch will get horse collar down at the 47-yard line, using that burst of his again.
Let's go, man.
know, Dave Dickinson, when he was comparing him to Gizmo, and this is, I know, an offensive play, but when he said it, he said, you know, I want to be careful.
Foul. Horse collar tackle, number 23, Edmonton. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Marcel Young, the horse collar.
He said, I want to be careful here. Gizmo had all those punt return touchdowns, maybe the greatest punt returner ever. He had, I think, 26 of them called back, something like that. But he said, the comparison I'm making is that
TSN. How you doing, TSN? Y'all remember me? You probably don't remember me, but I remember you guys.
We never forget you, Giz.
And we're talking about you. But he said it's the speed. It's like they're at different speeds than the rest of the players on the field.
Here's a reverse ball knocked loose. And who gets on it? I think Calgary. Well, the offensive lineman able to save this. And it was Ucambre Williams, the center. Be ruled a forward pass.
Ruling
Anthony
on the field
Parker got
is
bounced.
an incomplete pass.
And they are ruling
Second
it now
down.
incomplete.
I think Armando Sewell one more time just stepped up and bull rushed his way to disrupting that whole play.
So the Eskimos get thinner in the secondary, and the war of attrition taking its toll on the receiving core of the Stamps.
Just watch 90. He is fired up in this one tonight. He fights through that double, makes contact. Parker's down, the ball's out. It's going to be incomplete because it was forward.
You know, if the Eskimos had have recovered, there might have been an interesting reassessment of whether that was a catch and a strip or not. But Sewell made contact quickly and separated it in a hurry, and Parker's still feeling the effects.
Right now, Calgary's having problems blocking him onto Sewell.
Touchdown for Anthony Parker at Labor Day, and a great way to celebrate his 100th game in the league. Up and headed to the sidelines after that jolt from Sewell. Daniels hasn't returned since his injury early first quarter.
All right, Eskimo fans, come on, let's hear you. Let's crack it up for your team.
But no gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Mitchell over the middle, watch McDaniel, incomplete.
Guess who hit him again? Guess who hit him again? This doesn't happen very often to Bo Levi Mitchell. He's taking some hits. He's getting bumped around. This time it's a bit of a stunt to get Sewell out from the middle and out around the corner. Steps up and then works the stunt with Boateng and puts the left shoulder in him.
Best game for him in a long time. Hasn't had a sack since week 1. Has been playing hurt. But he's been down it in this first half. Paredes puts this up, and it's good. 39-yard field goal for Rene Paredes, and it's a 3-point game.
But you know, not a panic situation in any stretch of the imagination for Dave Dickinson and this very good Calgary team. I mean, yeah, they're having some problems blocking Sewell, and they can make some adjustments up front to help out in that regard. Give Bo Levi Mitchell a little bit more time. Go to a little bit more Jerome Messam possibly in this second half and at the end of this first half, just to get a little more balance with 2 receivers banged up in the core right now.
Last season in this game, they trailed 14-0 and 20-6 before rallying second half to force overtime. And
yeah, that's a 3-point game.
Riley in trouble, and down he goes. Mike Riley stuffed by Micah Johnson. 6th sack of the year for the Stampeders, all CFL defensive tackle.
Well, Justin Sorensen's got to snap the ball, and as he does that, Micah Johnson right up the middle and step to the outside, knocks his hands down, and he gets Sorensen reaching for him. But boy, 2 great interior defensive tackles in Micah Johnson. Armando Sewell here tonight.
Second and 18. 4-man rush, and has crunched as he crossed the original line of scrimmage.
Micah Johnson again.
So both quarterbacks, Riley, feeling the effects of the hit by Johnson. Punt team comes on. 3-minute warning in what has been a physical game. Gary Peters headed to the room.
Rod and the boys back in the studio. On Monday at the half, Edmonton was trailing Calgary by 20 points. Much different story this time around. We'll talk about the effectiveness of Darrell Walker, Edmonton's D, and we'll look back at the earlier games with Winnipeg getting revenge and Hamilton winning a game. Back to Chris and Glenn.
Hey, on that last one, bro, that, what's his name, is the hardest thing to do.
Thank you, Rod. Micah Johnson savoring that last series. He and Armando Sewell have been center stage so far tonight. Here's Roy Finch, who knows how to take the limelight, but he gets covered. There's Kenny Ladler on the teams making a play.
And Armando Sewell sprinting to get out there and get to this next series. Those two defensive tackles have put their name on the marquee in this first half. Micah Johnson with back-to-back plays in that last series. He's the reason that Mike Riley was flushed out of the pocket on that last play, had to dump it down, didn't get the first down. So back-to-back plays for the tackles, both these teams.
Only by Mitchell, 50 yards passing here with just over 2 minutes to go, first half. Pressure on, screens it off, and McDaniel will be surrounded. This Eskimo defense fired up.
Well, I'm just having fun, so I'm going to show you one more time, and we'll move on. But Sewell comes up the field, and you can follow him here and his hustle. Good push, realizes it's a screen, goes and finds the screen, finds the receiver, gets in on the tackle on Marquay McDaniel. I mean, this guy is fired up and flying around.
But how alert to make that read as quickly as he did. Mitchell steps up, throws complete. McDaniel, a second down conversion catch. And a Calgary first down.
You know, again, if you're on the road, you're the Calgary Stampeders, though, and you're thinking, okay, we're having some problems up front with some blocking assignments. Bo is getting pressured like he hasn't been over the last few weeks back. 3-point game on the road.
Quickly out of his hands to the sidelines. That's Parker back in the game. And he can't get away from Jordan Hoover hanging on. 6 yards. The pickup for Anthony Parker.
You mentioned Kamara Jordan and now Tavares Daniels out. Forget Lamar Durant. It's an important part of that receiving core early in the season.
Stamps 3 for 9 on second down conversions tonight. 2nd and 4 handed off to Messon. And the big guy is going to get it. Just got it as he crossed the 50-yard line.
One of the reasons Dave Dickinson is 23-3-2. The former quarterback is also a great play caller, and he gets the strategy of the game in a big way. You're having some problems blocking the interior up front. Go to the run game, go to the quick screen game.
4-man rush, heat is on. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Parker, but it was Adam Konar with a shot at the interception.
And because Adam Konar, who's going to drop back out of there, because he gets his hands on this ball, the hit behind is not going to be pass interference call. Because that ball is tipped now, the timing is off. He just played through the play.
University of Calgary product. Saw his dad's picture on the BC Lion Wall of Fame as I left BC Place last night. 2nd and 10. Here comes the heat again. Mitchell sidesteps. Watch Markin Michelle. He's got it. What a catch. And he's down to the 1. Big play for Markin Michelle and a 48-yard pickup.
Nothing fancy about it. Straight go route for Markin Michelle, and it's the catch that is remarkable. Here he is down the sideline. It's a one-on-one on Marcel Young. And Marcel Young steps up, the safety over the top is Marcel Young. He steps up, slides to him, and is in good position, but just does not come up with the knockdown. Michelle fights it, but keeps it.
Was almost vintage downtown Eddie Brown. Into the end zone, Buckley with flags flying. Usually offside against the defense.
And it just got quiet in here.
Offside, Edmonton defensive line. Penalties decline, touchdown.
So Andrew Buckley into the end zone. After the brilliant reception by Mark and Michelle. And the Stampeders regain the lead.
Now this is Calgary Stampeders, showing you why they're an 8-1 team atop the division, atop the league, because it seems like the momentum has been with Edmonton in this first half, and yet they're going to go in at halftime with the lead.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions.
Yeah, good point.
Misconvert here. 12-9 remains the score. 7 plays, 77 yards.
We keep y'all in prayer, baby. We love y'all.
And Bo Levi Mitchell had 71 passing yards on that drive, more than the rest of the first half combined. But Mike Riley's got a little time to.
Okay, I hear you. That is a lot. That's enough time for field goal range. He walked off after the last series, kind of holding his hip on the right side. So we'll see if that affects him. Ran 5 times in the Labor Day Classic.
But they're grinding it out here, as they so often have to do in the Labor Day rematch. It used to be that almost impossible scenario, playing Monday and then Friday. I'm not sure the extra day really is a huge bonus, but it often can get a lot grittier in the rematch.
And they still continue to make those adjustments. The adjustments on that last series, their best series of the first half was Jerome Messam, quick screens to Mark Ray McDaniel.
There's Jamel Smith on the return. And he gets stopped at the 27-yard line, so 41 seconds left for Mike Riley to change the score here in this first half. In the 3-game losing streak, they've trailed 17-3 in the last 2, 26-6. Down by 3 here, but with some time to change that. Four-man rush. Riley throws complete. Silstrip sidesteps the first man. And Singleton brings him down across the 45.
Well, now you're talking.
And an injured Stampeder. That's going to stop the clock. Micah Johnson shaken up. 19 for Zylstra.
Yeah, now you're talking 2 first downs away from a field goal attempt. Boy, the timing on that throw from Riley, excellent, because it didn't bring him into the middle to Alex Singleton. Let's take a look at Micah Johnson. What happened to him?
They got caught up with Jameer Thurman, or Charleston Hughes. Looks like friendly fire brought him down as he hobbles to the sidelines. See if an extra defensive back comes in. Looks like Vaughters is into the game.
Delicay playing the wide side corner.
Got 3 defensive ends in the front 4. 1st and 10. Pocket collapsing. Riley on a roll and throws underneath to Zylstrup. And it's Adeleke who bumps him out.
Tommy Campbell was banged up.
Yeah, Tommy Campbell on a series earlier looked like knocked woozy on a tackle. 12 seconds left, so they got time for one play. They need, well, at least 10 yards, you'd think. Milo has hit from 46, but just out of retirement, you're really not sure of his range. Second and 3, taking a shot with the jump ball, and did they get a flag as the coverage was tight on Duke Williams?
Wondering if Riley would go right out there and test Tunde Adeleke, the young rookie from Carleton, playing that wide corner with Duke Williams, and that's what they're going to do. I thought the coverage was pretty good from Adeleke to stay in his hip. Little push from one, little grab from the other.
He's holding the flag in front of the referee. I don't know if he's dropped it or not. Here's the one scenario where I might go for it on third down.
Challenging that there is defensive
but
pass
they are
interference
challenging
on the previous play. We'll review the play.
And the fans wanted the challenge.
Fans wanted it, but, you know, again, you take a look at this. I'm not sure that Duke Williams, he tries to knock the left arm down of Adeleke. Adeleke is still running with them. You don't have to look back to the ball, and it's almost like Duke Williams pulled him towards him to make it
trying to
entice
like the call.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he was just trying to run with them.
Yeah, is that more Williams on Adeleke than the other way around? So he's used his challenge for what potentially would be 3 points.
Yeah, I think Jason Moss was reluctant to challenge that, but you know, the fans, and not that he's making his decisions based on what the fans are saying, but
now there might have been a push there 5 yards back that at least would be illegal contact.
Well, I think if
not sure that helps him a whole lot, the illegal contact.
But I think it was when Moss was hearing from his own players is when he was persuaded to just go ahead and take a shot at this. I'm not sure, though. To me, like two guys running down the field.
If they got the call, do you just send the field goal unit on, or do you try and squeeze one shot into the end zone?
They might go to put that outside.
And this one taking a while.
You know, based on where Jason Moss just pointed to the field, it may be the earlier contact. Let's take a look.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass. Third down.
Well, the fiery coach shows you what he thinks of that call.
Objectionable conduct on the Edmonton bench. It's a 10-yard penalty. Third down.
He just drew a penalty flag, losing his temper.
Well, he's lost his timeout, and you know his one challenge.
Yeah, that's why he's upset.
But he's been talking about discipline this week, and that's not the message you're trying to send.
No, as much as anything.
Although maybe that fire's going to help ignite the team in the second half.
And I got to tell you, I think they got it right. I mean, I'm not sure why he's that adamant. I mean, it wasn't that close. They were both running, and Duke Williams pulled Adeleke into him. Now, he won't see that till he watches the video after the iPads at halftime.
Well, they're going to throw a Hail Mary here. Look out, he lost the football. Edmonton came up with it. And a strange end to the first half. Zylstrup able to recover what could have been a real disaster to end the first half for the Eskimos. So Edmonton had a 9-3 lead. Calgary fights back. They lead by 3 at the half as we send it back to Rod Smith and the guys.
Thank you, Chris. Interesting way for that half to come to an end. Here are the guys, Jock Climby, Milt Stiegel, and Dave Naylor joining us in the panel today in this triple header. Jason Moss really losing it there. Now, I understand situationally that would have put them in field goal range to tie the game at the half, but it is a first half challenge, the only one they have, and as Glenn Suter said, it looked like it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, listen, I love me some Jason Moss. I have tremendous respect for him as a coach, but I don't understand that. I don't understand challenging that, first of all. He made a very, very quick decision to throw that flag based on what he's perceived as some contact. And it wasn't. I mean, if anything, it was illegal contact or pass interference on his guy. But this reaction, you are trying to set an example for your team. You cannot do that as a head coach. It's okay to do this as a player. It is not. It might be okay to do it as a position coach, maybe. It is not okay as a head coach to do that.
You know what, Jock? I'm not mad at him. I mean, I'm mad at him for making a challenge. I don't think he should have challenged it. But that right there, he's emotional, Jock. He's into the game.
I want my coach to be calm, cool, collected, not lose it.
Coach has got to set the emotional tone for the team.
I understand that, but if that's him, those players know that's him. They know that's how he's going to react. I don't think they're surprised about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal, in my opinion. I don't think so.
I never like to see my coach lose control.
I don't think so.
I'll tell you what must be frustrating for him is, and Glenn talked about this too, it looks like Edmonton is leading this game until you look at the scoreboard and you see Calgary on top. And this is very typical of the Stampeders. I mean, they find so many different ways, but in the end, they do win ball games. I know we're only halfway through right now, but they are leading the way.
Yeah, and Bo Levi Mitchell, over the last 6 weeks or so, hasn't had a great stat line week in and week out. And when I was talking to Dave Dickinson, the Stamps coach this week, he said, Bo manages a game better than anyone in the league, and he manages it to win. And again, last week, Mike Riley had a better stat line when all was said and done than Bo Levi Mitchell did. Same thing at halftime today. He gets the big play to Mark and Michelle to set up the touchdown. And the Stamps go in, and it's key for them to get that lead, because if they get the lead, they really rely on having a balanced run-pass attack. They can get Messa more involved. So only up 3, but key that they take the lead into the half.
It's so interesting you should talk about stats, because I was just poring over the stats, trying to see if I can see a pattern as to how does Calgary do it. And because we're going to talk about the receivers and who has the best receiving corps in the league, and I'm looking at Calgary's receivers, and there's no one that's really.
Jordan's out, Durant's out.
Yeah, Daniels out. And it's just like the whole team is like that. Defense getting the ball back. That's what they do. So he gets the ball, but Mitchell always finds efficient and effective ways, productive ways to use that football in that short field that he gets. They're just very, very professionally efficient.
When you talk about Mitchell, his numbers aren't up, but he plays with confidence. He thinks every time he's on the field, he's the best thing out there, and he's going to make it happen regardless how well or not well he's playing, who's receiver, who's running back, offensive line. It really doesn't matter. When he steps on the field, he knows he's going to make it happen.
He is blessed with a great offensive line. They lead the league in terms of sacks given up and pressures given up. That helps him hugely. But after that, he just knows how to distribute the football amongst all the weapons that he's got.
Well, all of that said, some credit to Edmonton's defense for the most part. A much closer game. Calgary led by 20 Labor Day Monday. It is a 3-point Stampeder lead at the half. When we come back, we'll talk about the 2 earlier games in this triple header today.
Ready for the annual Labor Day rematch. The Battle of Alberta moves north. Stamps looking for the sweep. Eskimos trying to get even. And they'll give it to Walker.
Give it to 87. Let him do the heavy lifting from there.
And Henry Burris with the GMC Professional Grade Playbook.
Getting positive yards on first down is the main focus of an offense. Running the ball early is one option, and it establishes the line of scrimmage. Having success causes linebackers and defensive ends to overclose to try and stuff it. And that's when the quarterback simply pulls the ball, gets depth and width as a wide receiver runs across the formation at the snap and into the flat.
Riley pulls it back and pitches it out. Corey Watson with a great play. Look at Corey Watson go, and he's going to score a touchdown.
The reason this works so well is that most teams switch to man-to-man coverage to allow all 6 box players a chance to stop the run. Now check this out. The defender covering the inside slot has his eyes in the backfield. He sees the run action and loses focus on the man he's covering. By the time he recovers, it's too late. The quarterback has pulled the ball and thrown it for a first down. These plays simply drive a defense crazy trying to guess what to take away. Well, when Hamilton welcomes the Rough Riders to the Donut Box for Friday Night Football to kick off Week 13, we'll see you then with another segment on what's going on inside the game.
Beautiful day, Banjo Bowl, this noise, the adrenaline's running high.
Steps up and throws, and the pass is picked off by Winnipeg. Up the sidelines, Leggett, touchdown Winnipeg.
Play the banjo, play us out, Mo.
Trevor Harris was also drilled. Now Drew Tate, can he come off the bench, come in relief, and lead his team to a win? Slinging it out here, floating it for Moses Madu. Leaps high, hit hard by Richard Leonard. Can you believe it? Just 2 wins, 8 losses. Suddenly the Hamilton Tiger Cats are in the narrative in the East.
Little sample of what happened earlier today in this triple header earlier. The Banjo Bowl, the Riders saw the Bombers get revenge by 20 points, and then later the Ticats won again. They've won twice in the span of 5 days, beating Ottawa 26-22. But Dave, the unifying thing, both losing teams also lost their starting quarterbacks. Kevin Glenn going down for the Riders, Trevor Harris for Ottawa.
Yeah, and both were trailing when they went out, and that obviously made coming back a lot more difficult. And we don't know the status of either of these guys. The Red Blacks saying after the game that Trevor Harris's injury appeared to be a shoulder, is not season-ending. So the job was in Drew Tate's hands the rest of the way. We'll wait for more news on Trevor Harris. And Kevin Glenn, same thing. He's going to need some examination. Brandon Bridge came in, played fairly well. But in Tate and Bridge, you've got 2 guys who have not had a lot of playing time of late.
Well, you talk about this Labor Day Classic. Not Labor Day Classic.
Banjo Bowl now, Milt.
The rematch up.
Rematch. Bounce back. Big reason. You talked about this, no turnovers. That first game, that Labor Day Classic, he turned the ball over. Not this game. Mo Leggett had an excellent game, but Matt Nichols consistently, he's playing great football. He can do that. Hey, they can win the West. Could they? Could they, Jock? Could they?
Anything's possible at this stage, and especially in the East. So after today,
8-3 look awfully good in the East.
You're running away with it. Yeah, I think it's just got a whole lot murkier in the East, which I think is just fabulous. June Jones comes in, takes full advantage of his first tenure as a head coach with the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the bye week, installs an entire new offense, and they've won 2 in a row. And now they are seriously looking at playoff position.
Crazy.
And that seemed crazy. Talk 2 weeks ago. It is real now.
Absolutely. Improving to 2-8. The Arkells playing in Commonwealth. More good Commonwealth Stadium halftime entertainment. Their team, though, trailing the Stampeders by 3. We'll be back.
I'm all alone, throw me in line. Hands up, hands up, hands up.
Well, how about the defenses in the first half? Both of them played very well, evident by the net yards by both teams. Well, once again, the Calgary Stampeders, they found a way to gain that lead. And what about the return of Darrell Walker? 3 catches for 40 yards. How will he do in this second half?
Here's Ryan Rashog now with Calgary head coach Dave Dickinson.
Well, Dave, a much different first half than the first Labor Day matchup. Why do you think it was so much tighter offensively other than the big break you had at the end?
We're not playing that well, but we got a lot of injuries, so today it's just a real sloppy game. Somebody's got to step up and make plays. Hopefully it's us.
I was going to ask you about their defensive backfield. A couple of injuries tonight. Is that something you can try and pick apart in the second half?
We got the same thing going on, so, you'll expect more zone, but we'll see what happens. We can't block them up front right now, so we got to get that handled before we can do anything.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Dave Dickinson, quite often understated. Kind of an understated game so far, though. He's right. It's much lower scoring than when they met on Monday. It is Calgary leading it, though, by 3. Second half coming up.
Stampeders with the lead. Ryan Rashog with Darrell Walker.
Darrell, a nice vote of confidence from the head coach and the quarterback. Were you surprised when you got your number called deep in the offensive zone like that to carry it?
No, I wouldn't say I was surprised, but I'm just happy to be back, and I'm happy it got called.
I was going to ask you that, how it feels to be back under the lights at Commonwealth Stadium after a little time away.
It feels great, man. I miss my brothers. I miss playing football with my brothers, so I'm happy to be out here, and I'm ready to finish this game with a win.
What are you going to do in this second half?
I just got to watch and see.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, when we last saw Jason Moss, he had destroyed a headset. He's got a new one.
Doesn't have a new challenge. Used it, didn't win it. And, yeah, he's fixed up. That looks like the spare, and we're ready to go.
And even broke a smile when one of the equipment people came over with the new one, and I'm not sure whether he warned them that they might not have a third one. But
well, the equipment staff took half the break finding the parts of the other one.
Janelle Smith on the return, and he's trying to get outside. Turns the corner up over the 40-yard line, angled out at the Calgary bench. So good field position to start for Mike Riley, who generated just 10 first downs and 137 net yards in the first half, although the passing yard is much higher. Take off 37 yards for that bad snap on the third down punt.
Now both teams have had halftime now to look at adjustments. Adeleke is still out at the wide side corner spot.
So Tommy Campbell hasn't returned. Didn't have much success on the ground in the first half, and they start Perkins here up around the 47-yard line for 5.
I'm just looking at that secondary now all of a sudden, and Devon Claybrooks. I do see Tommy Campbell now move to the short side with Evans at halfback to the field.
Is Jamar Wall out there?
Yeah, I don't see Jamar Wall now. Campbell's into the boundary. That's him up at the top there. Adeleke and Evans at halfback to the field.
Second and 5. Riley can't pull the trigger, now does, and he's got a completion. And Darius Bowman with a straight arm on the first down. Pulled down by the rookie Adeleke in Stampeder territory.
You heard Dave Dickinson at halftime talk about his protection issues. I'm sure Jason Moss also talked a little bit about it. Now, I don't see Micah Johnson in this Calgary defense either, at least not on this series, but more time for Mike Riley. And if both these quarterbacks get time, we're going to see some offensive explosions.
Third catch of the game for Bowman, who came in as the 7th ranked receiver on the Eskimos. Of course, has spent plenty of time on the IR. Back from the ground to Perkins and brought down at the 45, about 3.5 on that carry.
How about Brandon Smith stepping into that one? Last couple of games getting real involved from the secondary in that halfback spot. 13 tackles in the last couple of games. He just steps in there shoulder first. Puts both his teammate and the ball carrier on the ground.
Grinding for 10 years in that secondary, and they've been better since he came off the injury list after missing the first 6. First down, quick hitter, slant, Silstrup, another first down as he's brought down inside the 35. Ball popped loose after he hit the turf. 12 more for Brandon Zylstra, the leading receiver for the Eskimos.
It is Jamar Wall that's out, and Evans is now trying to run a blitz, but watch how he has to bubble around a receiver here. It looks like Duke Williams. He's not accustomed to running this blitz, and he pauses there and is not in the throwing lane, and that's why Mike Riley is able to find Brandon Zylstra.
5 catches, 66 yards for Zylstra on the night. First down, 4 receivers wide side. And now they'll dump it off that way. Here's Perkins, dragged down by Alex Singleton. Only Solomon Elamimian of the Lions has more tackles on the season than the second-year middle linebacker of the Stamps.
Yeah, closing in on 100 defensive plays where they add it all up, whether it's sacks, knockdowns, tackles. But
tied a team record last week with the 13 tackles.
But that's his pace, and that would be most Calgary Stampeders.
2nd and 8. And another catch for Zylstra. Another second down conversion for Zylstra. First down, Edmonton.
Well, Alex Singleton's going to show up, spy Mike Riley, then open up once the ball's in the air and continue to pursue to it. And he's the actual tackler on the play.
7th tackle of the game for Singleton. Had 13 to tie the team record, co-held by George White. And a safety, Greg Peterson. What was he doing with 13 tackles?
I saw that note. I thought that's not necessarily a good thing.
1st and 10, they swing it out. Here's Walker again. And that play stopped by Evans as Silstra was unable to make the block.
Not that it's not a good thing for Greg Peterson, who was a tremendous safety for the Calgary Stampeders, works with their radio station now, and
I think had a smile about the note as well.
Because if your safety's making 15 tackles in one game, your defense is in trouble. But those tackles in one game right there. There's Greg Peterson, September 13th.
Yeah, saved them for the middle linebacker.
Yes.
2nd and 9. 5 receivers out. Riley gets drilled, has a completion, but what a wallop that Mike Riley took, and he's going to have to collect himself after that.
It's major. It's probably as hard as he's been hit since he's been with the Edmonton Eskimos. Watch this hit on Mike Riley.
Oh, Jagarrett Davis unloads. And it's 3rd down and less than a yard. And here's one of the downsides of having your starting quarterback also handling short yardage.
Well, he's going to take another hit, but not like that last one.
I think they want Riley to come off the field for a play. He may not be sure where he is.
One more time on this hit by Jagarrett Davis. Go ahead and run it. We see Mike Riley there. He's going to pay the price.
Number 13 is removed from the game by the injury spotter.
Yeah, this is a spotter upstairs now that saw the hit. He got hit in the chin, saw that there might be some reaction. Just
now they spotted that. Was that helmet to helmet? We're into the game. James Franklin. Flag comes down. And the question now, Mike Riley hot on the sidelines as he's been taken off. His helmet is tossed. And
well,
now the question is, how long is he out?
Yeah, he's got to now sit out for 3 plays for sure. And then they do the assessment to make sure that he clears the protocol to get back in.
Offside on the Calgary defensive line. 5-yard penalty. 1st down, Edmonton.
This is a player safety issue. It's important. I know Mike Riley's upset about it, but he's trying to explain to the training staff that he's fine. But they noticed something, whether it was a slow reaction back to the huddle, how he got up, the fact that his helmet was rocked off. But there's no challenge for Jason Moss either.
And now James Franklin throws the hitch to Williams, well covered on the play as Shaq Richardson, one of the stars on Monday, there defensively to hold on to Williams and create a 3-yard loss. Different personnel grouping comes in. Corey Watson checks into the game.
Well, speaking of coming into the game ice cold, James Franklin's got to try and loosen up in the first couple of plays.
10 for 12 on the year. 1 touchdown pass. 2nd and goal. Flag comes down. Corner road. And Corey Watson. What a catch. Touchdown pending the flag. And it's going against Edmonton. Watson, who had a key early fumble last week, trying to atone here, but
offside. Edmonton, number 81. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
But Williams offside.
Mike Riley now cleared, it looks like, to come back in this game. That was a nice throw by James Franklin. There's Duke Williams jumping offside. He was doing some trash talking after the last play. Well, back and forth with the Stampeders. And I I would suggest that this team's got to maintain their composure.
Mike Riley tried to get back on the field. Here's Franklin again. And looking for Williams. They clipped heels. And it falls incomplete. Richardson and Williams continue to jaw at each other.
Again, I know that this is part of the game, and it's part of the game whether you're up, down, or wherever it is, as far as the trash talking back and forth, especially with rivals like this. But Jason Moss throwing his headset, Mike Riley going through the protocol but being very upset, and you saw that on the sideline, the trash talking with Duke Williams. Then he goes offside. Legal procedure.
Milo from 21 yards out. Tie game. Well, it's intense. And we've seen plenty of fire and brimstone and lots more to come. Halfway through the third quarter. Tied at 12.
Hamilton Tiger Cats.
2 in a row and into the thick of things to the east. And no longer a free space on the bingo card. That drive lasted half a quarter, and now the Stamps get the ball for the first time. Second half, and Anthony Parker brings that down for a catch and 5 yards.
According to Ryan Rashog, the Edmonton Eskimos now have to juggle their secondary again as well. Gary Peters is out and gone. Trying to just go through the lineup here. They've got Chris Edwards on the corner.
See if Kenny Ladler has to drop back.
Looks like he is
into the secondary
field. Yeah.
Second and 5 for Levi Mitchell. And he's got Bruskeson for a first down. Pushed out by Adam Konar, but a 7-yard pickup for Bruskeson.
Marcel Young started the game at corner. Now he was playing the halfback spot. Now he drops that because that's not his zone, but he's now at halfback.
A lot of moving parts on both sides here in the second half. Big to Messam, wants to go further down the field and finds Martin Michelle, who gets loose and is dropped inside the 40-yard line. Man who set up the Stampeders touchdown in the first half has another 24-yard catch.
Dave Dickinson talked about trying to block Sewell, and he's going to try and do it with 3 guys here. Watch the interior of the offensive line go to number 90 and just try and squeeze that down to allow Bo Levi Mitchell time to get it out of there and make this long throw to the wide field out. He said that was an issue in the first half. He's trying to stop number 90, so he's bringing those guards in tighter to Yacumbre Williams.
There's the draw to Messam, and he got tripped up, lunges to the 35 and has 4. Messam on the night now with 6 carries, 20 yards. 6 straight of at least 60 yards rushing for Messam, coming in an 81-yard average during the 6-game win streak. Quick hitter here. Cole with the catch and a first down.
Jordan Hoover still on that wide side corner, and Markin Michelle's been lining up on him. Look for Bo Levi Mitchell to test the rookie some more tonight, but also in that zone look, like that last play, that was right out in his outside zone. So a couple of young DBs out here on the hot seat right now.
First down, Calgary. Pressure coming. Mitchell over the middle, and it's too high. Bruskeson can't bring it down. John Chick applying the heat that time on quarterback Mitchell.
Yeah, we haven't talked much in the last couple of games about John Chick. I mean, he's grading out well the coach and doing what he's been asked to do. When he gets pressure here and just avoids or just forces Mitchell to avoid that rush and pushes that arm a little bit.
Second and 10. Here they come. Mitchell stands in for Malcolm Michelle. Incomplete. Flag comes down. And a pass interference call against the rookie Jordan Hoover.
There's the test. Throw it up to him. And see how he reacts.
Defensive pass interference. Edmonton, number 28. Ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down, Calgary.
Yeah, I don't want to belabor this point, but again, even if Jason Moss doesn't agree with this, he doesn't have any more challenges. There's enough contact there.
Goes first and goal. Hand off, Messam straight ahead, gets stacked up. Flag down. Messam dropped for a loss, but.
Well, I would suggest, though, and I'm not sure if Calgary moved here, though, but I would suggest that even with Jerome Messam, even with 255, I'm not sure I'm running between the guards right now.
Offside, Edmonton, number 92. Ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
Daquan Bowers lines up offside.
Just take it off tackle. Try that. Yeah, you can see lined up offside. Look at Siwa.
Boy, he got a jump, didn't he? See
out of the and just end it.
Sprinter. But now it's Buckley. And Buckley left side, and he looked like he broke the plane, and he signaled yes. Touchdown, Calgary. Andrew Buckley's got his second touchdown of the game.
You guys are great.
Second effort. Buckley, best in the business at this right now. He's got this quarterback sneak down, and you can see he's got his eyes up. He's not just plowing into the back of the line. He's looking for that soft spot. Not that it's real soft against this Edmonton D line, but he found it in the second effort, got him there.
In behind the left guard, Shane Bergman, Randy Richards, Secombre Williams. 9 plays, 75 yards. So we played almost 12 minutes of the third quarter, one possession each. Edmonton settled for 3. Stamps get a touchdown. And Paredes has missed another extra point. And this one coming out. And stumbling before he could really get on track, Jamil Smith brings it back to the 27-yard line. So it's a 6-point Calgary lead. A second touchdown plunge by Andrew Buckley. So Andrew Buckley finds the end zone for the second time of the game. 6-point Stampeder lead and a penalty against Edmonton on the misconvert, an objectionable conduct call against Kenny Ladler as Mike Riley gets set to return after being briefly taken out of the game.
Chris, I get the intense nature of the game in general, but not only that, but this matchup.
With the return out to around the 24-yard line. Well, Mike Riley is ready to return. We'll step aside. Eskimo football down by 6 when we come back. That's the Battle of Alberta, and emotions usually run high, but you think too high.
Well, objectional call. I get it. I get the intensity. I get
Number
the
13
rivalry.
is removed from the Greek.
over here to the right of your screen, you're going to see Kenny Ladler do what his coach did and get another penalty on that last kickoff. Mount bad field position. I get the intensity, and I love it. And that's one of the things you love about Jason Moss and Mike Riley and these guys. But you've got to maintain your composure. These penalties in a close game like this come back and haunt you.
Down by 6. Riley hit, but gets it away. Perkins up the sidelines, pushed out by Singleton. 2 missed converts by Rennie Paredes in this game, and they could loom large, and it keeps it a 6-point deficit as far as the Eskimos are concerned.
Charleston Hughes getting a little pressure. I agree with you. I mean, this is a tight, intense game, and 2 missed converts could come back to haunt Calgary. There's the hit from Charleston Hughes just above that target, just in that target area. So a clean hit.
2nd and a yard. Perkins left side, and it's a first down. Riley at 227 yards passing tonight. Getting the play call in from the sidelines. And now Bowman in motion. Big to Perkins and Darrell Walker will sidestep Deontay Evans, and then a flag flies on the play. By the way, Jason Moss said earlier this week that Walker runs like a running back. Maybe he was foreshadowing that he was going to use him as a running back as he did for the touchdown earlier in the game.
Trying to figure out what this penalty is. I think it might be a block in the back from an Edmonton receiver downfield trying to help out.
Major foul, face mask, Edmonton, number 87. That will be 2nd down, back 15.
Well, Walker grabbed the face mask with a straight arm. A play that's not uncommon, but not always called against the offensive player.
Yeah, stiff arm is one thing, but in order to get a face mask, it's almost like Walker would have had to grab Evans' face mask and twist it. Oh, that's exactly what he does. And you can see, that's what I thought Brandon Zylstra might get caught on that block on a delicate.
But that face mask impeded Evans' ability to make the tackle, so play is called 2nd and long. Riley going to dial up long. He's got Zylstra inside. Brandon Zylstra all the way down to the 16-yard line. Biggest play of the game for the Eskimos.
Mike Riley launches this one. In his drop, pressure up the middle, blocked up nicely by his O-line, and he just lets fly with a great one down the middle and hits Brandon Zylstra in stride. What a great throw.
67 yards. Brandon Zylstra over 100 yards for the 6th time this year. 4 of his catches tonight. 2nd down conversions. That the biggest. And up inside, it's McCarty.
Well, that leads the league to 100-yard games. Brandon Zylstra, #1 receiver in that regard, but Riley loosened up that cannon. He just launched one.
Man, he hits 300 yards on the night with that completion. So the 7th time in 8 games. And the 8th overall, Mike Riley hits 300. 25 of 30 on the night and only 12 points. They're 1 for 3 in the red zone. And there's a pass to Corey Watson, complete for a first down, and they are 1st and goal at the 5. Josh Bell, the safety, with the tackle for Calgary on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Long drives in the 3rd quarter. First field goal by Edmonton. The Giz is liking it. Then a touchdown drive of length by Calgary. Edmonton trying to answer here again. Down by 6. Headed to the 4th. Points been hard to come by tonight, but you think we might have an explosion in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, take one look at those penalties, and that's I like intensity. Intensity, yes, it's important in the game, but intensity plus discipline is necessary. Edmonton has to straighten that out. Yeah, I think in this fourth quarter we may see some more explosive plays, Chris, because of both teams having to work through some injuries in the secondary. And young Jordan Hoover and Adeleke are going to be tested. That's not an indictment on those two players. They're just young and they're going to be tested.
Now Hoover gets called on the pass interference, sets up a Calgary touchdown, and then Zylstra goes deep for Edmonton and sets up the Eskimos here. 1st and goal.
You start to do that kind of juggling and put in rookies, young rookies that are just trying to hang on right now. These veteran quarterbacks are going to go ahead and try and go after it.
Mike Riley, 26 of 31, 308 in the game. Neither starting quarterback has thrown a touchdown pass tonight. Man, an important fourth quarter as the Eskimos try to snap the 3-game losing streak and stay in the hunt for first. While Calgary tries to go to 9-1-1. 1st and goal from the 5 as we start the fourth quarter. Short drop and the ball knocked down. Alex Singleton makes another play.
Well, taking the block was a timing route to Darius Bowman. And Singleton steps up. Go ahead and run it, guys. He's going to step up from the linebacker spot, come on a blitz. You usually see blitz down in this area. The right hand on it with Darius Perkins trying to block him.
8 tackles and a knockdown. That's his 3rd knockdown of the year. Just seems like Singleton gets better by the week. 2nd and goal. Pressure on. That corner jump ball. And is it intercepted? It is. Deontay Evans brings it down. That's his 3rd interception of the year.
Well, take a look at this throw and just rushed enough where if Mike Riley starts doing the math, what he sees over there, he's going to see his receiver outnumbered. Now, did he catch it?
Now the interception will be reviewed, and did he trap that football on the way down? There's an injured Calgary Stampeders. And it's Junior Turner. Off-season knee surgery, joined the
previous play of an interception is under review by the command center.
I'm not sure he didn't.
Yeah, I think he
Deontay Evans used the ground to trap this. I'm not sure he had control going down on this interception here. No control there, tipping it. Now, if that tip of the ball hits the ground, he can't use the ground to help him make that catch.
And this is a huge call because Eskimos would get a chance to at least kick a field goal.
Crowd just saw it. Yeah, I think that's coming back.
And they're bringing the card out, unfortunately, for Junior Turner. Again, knee surgery in the offseason. A late start to the year for him. And boy, the last few days have been really tough injury-wise in the Canadian Football League. So Junior Turner gets attention, and we will step aside while they get the veteran defensive tackle on the card. Still working on Junior Turner, maybe looking at his ankle and being careful, getting a soft cast on him. We have a verdict on whether or not Deontay Evans came up with.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. It's an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd down, Edmonton, from the 5-yard line.
So 3rd and 5 for Jason Moss, likely to send in the field goal unit. Do you think he thinks about more than that?
No, I think you take the points, but take a look at the injury. Just taking a look at that left leg. Got caught underneath.
Vaughters and Beard hit the deck and
they're stabilizing the leg completely.
He got caught up in the wash, and Armando Sewell out there to help a colleague to get onto the cart. And the Battle of Alberta, as it often does, takes its toll. So Milo comes on. 2 long drives here for the Eskimos in the second half that come up just a few yards short, and Milo on to try another short field goal. From 12 yards away, out of the O'Brien hold, it's good, and that cuts the lead in half.
Bow. My girl keeps missing my touchdowns, man. This right here, this is crazy. I told him.
Probably have on some Adele right now. When we were young.
Mike up players to behind-the-scenes action at CFL Wire. Catch it Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on TSN 1 and 4. Stamps will take over at the 35, a 3-point lead. I believe this is just their second possession of the second half. And the drop play to Messon. Crashes across the 40 up to the 43 and has 8. Alex Hoffman-Ellis and Marcel Young combined on the tackle.
Going through that regular formation where they bring Marquay McDaniel across to try and widen the gaps up front just a little bit to give Messon a little more room.
Stampeders now 8 for 14 on second down conversions. Mitchell's got an open receiver. And it's Rasmussen with a big catch back into Edmonton territory. And Mitchell starting to find holes in that revamped Edmonton back end.
It's almost like the Edmonton Eskimos kind of fell asleep here, like this second and short was going to just be a running play or something, and didn't get kind of wired in. Let Breckerson run right by him.
36-yard gain, his biggest of the season. Looked like Mitchell wanted the hitch. Now throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. Adam Konar with the pick. Big takeaway for the Edmonton defense.
Coach trying to encourage Bo Levi Mitchell, say, don't worry about that one, let that one go. And it's a push up the middle, and he's got to throw around that pressure. And you see how he has to jump and try and find Markin Michelle on the slant route. He doesn't see Adam Konar. Big play defensively for Mike Benavides, linebacker.
First interception of the year for the former Calgary Dino. Back into the hands of the Eskimos. First down at their 31. Perkins and Jacarrett Davis closed down on that play and limits the gain to a couple.
Micah Johnson back in the game. That's a big play by Konar. Just sat in his drop, but because it was a push up the middle on Bo Levi Mitchell, he had to kind of jump over that rush and throw it around the rush. Never saw 38.
There's the remains of the... It's the shrapnel from the first half of the broken Jason Moss headset. Maybe they're keeping that as a post-game souvenir. Yeah. Here's Duke Williams with a catch. Trying to get away, but Adeleke hanging on for the tackle at the 39.
That's what I meant. This is not a slight against these young players getting a chance to get out there and get into this game. Jordan Hoover for Edmonton and Adeleke, who makes a great tackle in the open field. I mean, Duke Williams is about 1.5 yards short.
That's huge. That tackle on a 6'3", 225-pound receiver stops him 1 yard short, 1.5 yards, and forces the 4 2-and-out of the game.
Every rookie goes through it, and these guys are trying to hang in there, hang on, and contribute, make a play.
For the Eskimos, unable to capitalize on the turnover. O'Neal boots it away, and here's Finch. What's he got? Something here. And all the way to the 45, a 20-yard return for Roy Finch. Just short of the 4-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. 18-15. Calgary with the lead.
When good teams back each other. Bo Levi Mitchell throws an interception. Devon Claybrook's group says, don't worry about that. We got your back. Get a 2-and-out. Roy Finch adds a 20-yard return, and Bo Levi Mitchell back on the field in decent field position.
Yeah, 45, they start, mess him up the middle, and he gets cut down after a couple, falls forward maybe for a 3rd yard and a little slow to get up.
You know, no damage done on the turnover. We often say the points off turnovers are a big reason for a team's win. That was a bit of a shaky handoff from Mitchell there to Metso, maybe slowed him through the hole.
Kenny Ladler the tackle. That, by the way, just the 10th turnover by the Calgary offense this year. Number 1 in the league in that department. 2nd and 8. Here come the Eskimos. Quick hitter. Good catch by Kohler, but a sure tackle by Alex Hoffman-Ellis to stop him short. And it will be 3rd and about 1.5 yards to 2.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the recognition was there from both Rory Collard and from Mitchell. Full blitz coming. He sees the blitz. Got to get out of there because you can't block them all.
Calgary's going for it. Wow. 3rd and 1.5 yards. Perfect on the year on 3rd downs.
On the draw.
And they're just going to try to draw him offside. And the flag comes down.
That's all they were trying to do. Sorry, Chris. That's all they were trying to do is draw him. And
procedure. Calgary, number 19. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Now it doesn't matter for Calgary in their minds because they try it. If they don't get the offside, then they kick it just 5 yards deeper.
It worked last week or on Monday for both teams. Early in the game when the nerves might have been a little tighter, but not there. A stop for Edmonton. They'll get it back here. Rob Maver so good at backing teams up. Pressure on, and he got that away. Jamil Smith from the 20, 40-yard punt. Smith circled and taken down quickly, and Charlie Power down in a hurry as he often is. 10 special teams tackles coming into the game. Mike Benavides working the sidelines after that stop by his defense. Been quite a day of football. Bombers win and are currently just 1 point back of Calgary pending the outcome of this. The Tiger Cats back in it.
It was that
close. I somehow, and I'm anticipating a little controversy and maybe a rematch.
Hey, well, I'm sure the rematch is going to be demanded. And maybe some new challengers. Yeah, that's...
Not sure the status of Kevin Glenn. Not sure how serious the injury to Trevor Harris. But a tough day in that department. Tavares Daniels out of this game. Junior Turner as well. And we haven't seen Jamar Wall. Gary Peters for Edmonton. Lucy Maston before the game even started. Mike Riley to work. He's surrounded, and Micah Johnson's had a big night. In on that sack, along with Brandon Smith on the halfback blitz.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying watching these big men in the middle, and this time it's Micah Johnson, and just watching their hustle, because these guys are in contact all the time. He's stepping up, now he goes wide, now he's got to come back, regroups, and he gets to Mike Riley first. I mean, we've seen Mondo Sewell do it, Micah Johnson do it for the Calgary Stampeders.
Third sack of the game for the Stamps. Sets up 2nd and 12. More time for Riley. Anybody home? Pass behind. Duke Williams incomplete. Quick 2 and out.
Take a look at that again, and again, I didn't think there'd be much rust physically as far as Darrell Walker's addition would. Go ahead and run it, guys, because I want to see Duke Williams and Darrell Walker going to end up right in this area as they sort of break together. One's coming back towards the ball, one's sliding into the middle. There's Duke Williams over the top. I know the play took a long time to develop, but again, two guys too close together.
O'Neill's kick. 45-yard line for Finch. And Finch back across midfield and dragged down at the Eskimo 50-yard line. 16-yard return for Finch. And Ladler a little slow to get up.
By the way, Roy Finch, when Dave Dickinson, his coach, was comparing him to Gizmo Williams, said Roy was asked if he knew who Gizmo Williams was, and he had to go Google him.
You only have to look at a few highlight tapes on YouTube.
Yeah,
you figure it out in a hurry.
You go to YouTube and you see it, and I'm sure he was impressed once he Googled him.
Nobody ever better in CFL history. Oh, they can dial it up here volume-wise, too. Prescott with another catch, enjoying his best game as a pro. Forrest Hightower, the tackle. Short gain for the Stampeders, sets up 2nd and 7.
That was to the starter at halfback and Forrest Hightower.
Mitchell over the middle, and this one is intercepted. Kosi Moama, a run. Fighting off Markway McDaniel, and back-to-back Calgary drives end on Edmonton Eskimo interceptions.
Coach Moama played this real nice because it looked like it was going to be a corner route. Right here, it looked like this was going to be a corner. Then he turned it to the post. Coach Moama is going to drop back. He's going to open his hips as if he might bite on that corner, but he doesn't. I think Bo Levi Mitchell thought he was going to open up and try and get wider, and then he stepped up and jumped it.
We're getting a challenge. Bo Levi Mitchell wasn't leaving the field. Everybody else went off. He wasn't leaving. And looked over to the sidelines, and Dave Dickinson throws his challenge.
It'll be interesting to see if they're trying to...
Calgary is challenging that there was illegal contact committed against their receiver number 16. We'll review the play.
So that wasn't where the ball was caught, because that challenge would be pass interference. Markway McDaniel. No, that's not him either. He's the inside receiver on that little double move, and they're saying it's Konar right there with the push before Koshi Muwanga jumps it. So he is the intended target, but earlier in the route. get back and find you Markway McDaniel here. He's the third receiver inside, right there. Adam Konar opens up, and when he makes that double move, he turns in and just a little bit of contact there.
Enough of a bump to
I think
take
Adam
him
Konar,
off the route.
Again, I'm just going to call it the way I see it, and maybe command center doesn't agree, but I think Konar just turns with him, and there's a little hand check in there, and Mwamba jumps it. In other words,
close call, and
I say let him play
pivotal
there.
one here.
Yeah, but I say let him play there. I get why Dave Dickinson would want to challenge, because there was a little bump on the turn, but
oh, we've got a verdict.
It's not, bro. It's not.
They call that shit. After review, the ruling on the field stands. Interception, first down, Edmonton.
Yeah, I think if Adam Konar didn't turn and face, you don't have to turn. But if he turns and then the hand farting, just you're going to let that go. And the challenge flag retired.
Yes, that's done for the night. And almost like Dickinson's reaction was, that was the time to use it.
Give it a shot.
Chance and
give it a shot.
See if we could get it. Back-to-back interceptions, though, back into the hands of the Eskimos. And Darrell Walker's got a catch and nearly got away up to the 52 and a first down.
Wow.
As Walker makes his sixth catch of the night.
What a great move when he receives the ball. You're going to get a great look at it coming right in your living room. Watch how he just puts the brakes on and then pulls away from that hit as he's catching the ball. That's taking it to another level.
Another tackle by Singleton, a 20-yard gain for Walker up near midfield. McCarty in motion as the Eskimos go two back. Riley throwing back this way, jump ball, and it is intercepted. Tommy Campbell comes up with it. Couple of Eskimos in the same area, and Tommy Campbell's got the pick, and he is down at midfield.
Yeah, I wonder if there's, and only Jason Moss, Mike Riley, and the receivers in question here would know. First of all, the timing on the snap was a little off for Darrell Walker. Now he's going straight down the field on Tommy Campbell, but Bowman is just to the left of your screen. And again, we've seen a couple of times tonight where Walker has been right next to another receiver. And offenses aren't designed that way. They're designed to spread the field and complement each other. One guy's on an in, one guy's on an out, or an over and under with separation. But needless to say, a nice play by Tommy Campbell. He could cover both from there.
3 extended drives in the third quarter, took up all the time, and now, here in the fourth, 3 consecutive drives ending with interceptions.
Yeah,
the Stamps get it back at midfield.
Can Calgary block him on the seaway?
That is under review by the command center.
So all turnovers are reviewed. This one's still under review.
Well, they might be taking a look first at the make sure that Tommy Campbell made this catch. I thought there wasn't any question.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
But maybe he was touched down by contact at the time of the catch.
Is he tripped up there, and do they mark him down at that point as he kind of got caught up with Walker at the end of the play? So that is likely why the review, although he had to pull that off just above the ground to hold on. That's a nice catch.
No, he did catch that, though. It looked like he catch. I didn't see it touch the ground, so this might be the best angle just to make sure on the catch.
Now, is there contact between Walker and the foot of Campbell that would down him about 25 yards back? Well, we've got a decision valuable real estate at stake here. Second interception of the year for Campbell.
review, the interception is confirmed, but the player was down by contact at the 25-yard line. It'll be Calgary ball, 1st and 10 at the 25.
That's 30 yards difference. That's significant. It's a big call.
Could be very significant. When you heard Tommy Campbell there look into the camera and say, 87 doesn't scare me.
He said that this week, and it was duly noted. Doesn't mind throwing something on the bulletin board.
A lot of talk about the return of Darrell Walker in this Edmonton lineup, and Tommy Campbell said 87 doesn't scare me. I love it.
Well, the mayor of Commonwealth, Odell Willis, trying to stir up this crowd. Just over 5 minutes to go. Messam. A little hurdle by Messam, gets away. Best run of the game for Jerome Messam, up to the 42-yard line. 17-yard run.
How about that? Odell Willis trying to get the crowd in it, trying to get going. Then they go right at Odell Willis, right off tackle. He's in his pass rush lane up the field, so he's wide. Sewell tries to get there. He's being held up. Good block there by Brad Erdos.
And a hurdle over Adam Konar for 18 yards. And a first down at the 43. Full quick hitter. He gets smacked as Chris Edwards stepped up from his corner position.
Look at the wrist for Bo Levi Mitchell there. I know it's a short side. It's the easier of the two out throws. But just a little 1-2 flick of the wrist and out there on time. Chris Edwards was in a deep zone. No way you could react to that. He's trying to get some help from the sideline on the call here.
2nd and 3. They fake to Messam. Double clutch. Incomplete. Over the middle looking for McDaniel. And the punt team will have to come on.
Is that another play by Adam Konar? Looked like he was in the area.
Get a finger on that?
And maybe and then
finger by Hightower to knock the ball away. By the way, 2 interceptions thrown by Mitchell matches his season high. Also threw 2 in a game against Winnipeg in week 3. Jamil Smith taken down shy of the 20-yard line. 3:27 to go. Jason Moss this week talked about staying in the game, not getting too far behind too early as they did on Labor Day. And he said, if we're in a 1-score game late in the 4th quarter, you're going to bet on us. Well, that's the situation. Let's see if they can live up to that. Riley comes out swinging. Adarius Bowman to catch.
Mike Riley to Adarius Bowman.
Brought down across the 25-yard line, has 7.
Well, ideally, Mike Riley wants to use up all the time on the clock, finish with a touchdown, walk away with the win. There's a lot of work to be done before that against a very good Calgary defense here.
Number 1 second down conversion team in the league, below 50% tonight. Big one coming up here. Wide side and a kick by Bowman back to back to move the chains against Tunde Adeleke. It's a matchup we're seeing in the 4th quarter. A leading receiver in the league last year against a rookie. Let's see if they continue to go back to that as we hit the 3-minute warning here at a 3-point game. Crunch time here at Commonwealth. 2:40 on the clock. Mike Riley's crew down by 3. But a first down at their own 36-yard line. Riley at 350 tonight. It's the 5th time this year he's passed for at least 350. 412 is high, and again, last year in the Labor Day rematch, he threw for 400 and 32 yards. Perkins on the run. Up across the 40-yard line.
Interesting in that matchup, though, Chris, when you're talking about going out there against Adeleke, they had Duke Williams in the third quarter against him to the field. Those last two throws were to Darius Bowman, who they put out there against him.
He's hanging in, though, isn't he?
He is.
Riley going that way again. A catch made by Williams. Got a first down, stepped out.
Williams, number 81, makes the catch. He's ruled out of bounds.
And out of bounds, they're going to rule it a 7-yard pickup, but the chains are moving.
They're working that side. They're working that wide field. This time it is back to Duke Williams out there, and it looked like he did step on.
Yeah, you saw the toe hold on the far sideline. Up at the 48-yard line. And a fake inside to Perkins. Tackles. Singleton will drive him out of bounds, but they're into Calgary territory now. And getting close to field goal range to at least tie it. And remember, a couple of missed converts tonight by Rene Paredes has kept it within 3 for Edmonton. Riley guns that in, says for another catch. He's had a terrific night, and with that catch, it'll be his best of the season.
He's ruled down near the 38-yard line, about a yard short of the first down. We have an injured Stampeder.
And an injured Calgary Stampeder. Zylstra with 15 more.
What's he at now? I mean,
he's 153 on 8 catches. 1 yard better than his previous high against BC.
And another DB. Crucial point of the game. Deontay Evans heading to the sideline.
How do they readjust? They may move Adeleke inside. They've got Adam Tebow who could come on at field corner. See if there's any other options available. Shaq Richardson could bump back. And it is Tebow.
Tebow going to the corner.
And now they're mass confusion here on 2nd and short. That might have been a play for the Eskimos to throw one deep because Calgary really was not set in the secondary.
Oh, absolutely, Chris. I mean, you don't.
Offside. Calgary number 49. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I mean, you throw a deep ball. It's a low percentage, and you need to get the first down in field goal range to at least tie it. So, but you're right. It was a scramble drill there for Calgary as they were trying to just get lined up correctly.
Now they've got to readjust. Tebow had come on for that play. He's gone back to the sidelines. And Adeleke's back on the corner. Richardson has gone into the secondary. Josh Bell quarterbacking that secondary as Riley goes to work. Duke Williams over the middle. Bounces off. Williams to the 5. Touchdown.
That was a scramble drill for Calgary, trying to get their secondary lined up, and Mike Riley goes right down the middle of Duke Williams. He does the rest from there.
43-yard touchdown connection from Mike Riley to Duke Williams.
Layered route to Darius Bowman across the post first. Williams in behind him. A block to get him to the end zone from his teammate Darius Bowman. Levi Mitchell, though, still has some time on the clock.
Yes, he does. Still a minute 36 remaining. It's a big convert, and it's good, so it's a 4-point lead for Edmonton. Seven plays, 91 yards, and Mike Riley
see Josh Bell, who's trying to get everybody lined up. But there's the two routes. You got Duke Williams on the outside seam, and you got a Darius Bowman on the inside post. Josh Bell goes with him, but he was trying to get everybody lined up and make sure that they were all straight. They were real soft on it, the Calgary secondary, because of it. Riley makes them pay. Nice block at the end of it from a Darius Bowman. It's a big man in Duke Williams.
7 catches, 82 yards, and a go-ahead touchdown with 1:36 to go. The Labor Day rematch rarely disappoints.
Mitchell has got lots of time on the clock.
It's a dangerous game to leave Bo Levi Mitchell, a minute 36, and a chance to win.
And that guy back.
Finch and a delicate drop deep. And O'Neal kicks it to Finch. 30, side steps. And up to the 40. Decent field position. Kevin Jackson hauls him down. So 70 yards away from where Calgary's got to be with a minute 29 to go. Looking to split for the 14th time since '89. Calgary trying to sweep for the 5th time in 6 years. Mitchell's got a lot of steamboats over the middle, knocked down. Alex Hoffman-Ellis breaks it up.
I think Hightower was there too. He broke on it as well. Both coaches have used their challenges, so it'll be whatever's called on the field. Mark and Michelle on the dig route, and a nice play by Hightower. Darius Bowman across the post first. Williams in behind him. A block to get him to the end zone from his teammate Darius Bowman. Bo Levi Mitchell, though, still has some time on the clock.
Yes, he does. Still a minute 36 remaining. This is a big convert, and it's good, so it's a 4-point lead for Edmonton. 7 plays, 91 yards, and Mike Riley is at 416 yards passing on the night.
Let's show you the layer. Look at, first of all, right here, you're going to see Josh Bell, who's trying to get everybody lined up. But there's the two routes. You got Duke Williams on the outside seam, and you got a Darius Bowman on the inside post. Josh Bell goes with him, but he was trying to get everybody lined up and make sure that they were all straight. They were real soft on it, the Calgary secondary, because of it. Riley makes them pay. Nice block at the end of it from a Darius Bowman. It's a big man in Duke Williams.
7 catches, 82 yards, and a go-ahead touchdown with 1:36 to go. The Labor Day rematch rarely disappoints.
Mitchell has got lots of time on the clock.
It's a dangerous game to leave Bo Levi Mitchell, a minute 36, and a chance to win.
And that guy back.
Finch and a delicate drop deep. kicks it to Finch. 30, side steps, and up to the 40. Decent field position. Kevin Jackson hauls him down. So 70 yards away from where Calgary's got to be with 1:29 to go. Looking to split for the 14th time since '89. Calgary trying to sweep for the 5th time in 6 years. Four receivers near side. Mitchell's got a lot of steamboats. Over the middle, knocked down. Alex Hoffman-Ellis breaks it up.
I think Hightower was there too. He broke on it as well. Both coaches have used their challenges, so it'll be whatever's called on the field. Mark and Michelle on the dig route, and a nice play by Hightower. Mark and Michelle on the dig route, and a nice play by
Hightower to makes the play. Second and 10. Flags come down. Mitchell nailed. Ball came loose. The Eskimos have it, but were they offside? Euclid Cummings comes up with the football. But in the noise, looked like both teams might have been on the move before the snap.
Video official will get this correct.
Offside. Edmonton, number 94. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That was Cummings.
The two interior defensive linemen, you'll see 94 move just a little before Odell.
Willis, 10th penalty of the game against Edmonton. 2nd and 5. Pocket collapsing, picked off. Messon, first down.
Did
Stays in bounds.
Did he, or did they?
Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going.
Good question. Did he get out of bounds? We're up on the ball, calling the play as quickly as possible.
Clock's running, so he didn't. He didn't. Well, plenty of time here for Mitchell, 54 yards away. That one incomplete, and Breskeson pays a price. Leveled by Chris Edwards. And now Breskeson's going to be out for 3 plays.
Boy, it looked like he's trying to get his wind, like he got the wind knocked out of him on that hit, and it was a big one.
Julon Lynch, the rookie, has to come into the game.
Right with his shoulder, clean hit there from Chris Edwards.
We have our 50-50 winner presented by Belliard Direct Insurance.
Clearly the Calgary coach, Dave Dickinson, thought it was a headshot.
Congratulations, Daniel. Support because the ticket purchases tonight in the half goes towards supporting amateur football.
6-game win streak on the line here.
What Empire stands together right now. Let's go. Let's hear it for your
BC in Calgary next week.
Edmonton, number 26. 10-yard penalty. First down, Calgary.
Now is that the official upstairs, a late call on Edwards?
Well, it said objectionable conduct. See,
not sure where that came from.
Unless it was something that he said as he walked back towards the bench. He kind of started talking toward the bench. Because he didn't stand over the Calgary receiver taunting him, it didn't look like. And Jason Moss is saying...
And there it is.
The throat slash.
That's an automatic penalty.
Absolutely.
Costly. First down. Mitchell hit as he throws. Jump ball. Parker's got it. Anthony Parker in And now it's Calgary 1st and goal.
Boy, the pocket collapsed on Bo Levi Mitchell. He's going to get hit as he delivers this one.
Almondo Sewell.
There again, yeah, and then just overrun by Marcel Young. Juggled. And Parker hangs on.
44-yard play. 1st and goal. For 5. Clock running. Mitchell backpedals and throws that away. Well covered, nothing available. 2nd and goal.
Mike Benavides dial up a full blitz and put his guys in man-to-man.
Eskimos stopped twice inside the 10 earlier. Now trying to return the favor.
Messon not a bad option here either. For Dave Dickinson.
2nd and goal. The fake to Messon. Throw to the corner. Incomplete. Mark and Michelle well covered. Marcel Young over there, and it all comes down to this play. 3rd and goal.
Good pressure off the edge. Forces the quick throw. I think it's Adam Konar again. Great pressure that doesn't allow Mitchell to be accurate on the throw. He didn't bite to the play fake to throw Messi.
Stampeders have not missed on a 3rd down gamble this year. 17 of 17. Mike Riley staying loose in case. Mitchell, end zone, McDaniel, touchdown. 35 seconds on the clock, and Calgary's back in the lead.
What a football game.
And the delegation from Calgary celebrating that.
He just finds a way. This guy, quarterback, just finds a way to get it done. Whether the numbers are big and massive, whether they're
8 plays, 69 yards in 101. McDaniel, the go-ahead touchdown, his 4th of the year. And now Paredes puts this one through to give them a 3-point lead. Still time.
Look, JD, look. Hey,
But the Eskimos have a lot of work to do to force overtime for a 2nd straight Labor Day rematch.
I just, when you watch Bo Levi Mitchell orchestrate that drive, these circumstances on the road, and make that accurate throw on 3rd down to Marquay McDaniel, like I said, it doesn't matter what the numbers look like for Mitchell at the end of the day. He just finds a way. Now, there is still time, and it depends on this return as well.
There's a reason that he's 51-8-2.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't blink.
He doesn't flinch. Just stood in there on 3rd down with the game on the line. Now, Mike Riley needs a big chunk. He's been working the wide side of the field to Duke Williams or putting a Darius Bowman out there. The Edmonton Eskimos need a return here, too, to give him some field position.
Going to say, Fitch got Bo Levi Mitchell to 40. Let's see what the Edmonton return can provide from Jamil Smith. Up across the 25, runs out at the sidelines. And the fans wanted a flag. None forthcoming. 29 seconds left for Mike Riley, who needs about 40 to 45 yards. And this is a point where neither team can afford to take a dumb penalty.
Bo is trying to get, Mitchell's trying to get his guys out of it.
Micah Johnson says, I got to go to work. I got to play defense. And the hit by Singleton on the sidelines is what has Edmonton fans in a lather. And
Well, Singleton grabbed his jersey trying to hold him up. Fans didn't like that.
Mike Riley needs 45 yards to get it into decent Chris Milo range.
Jameer Thurman's going to have to sit out for 3 plays. He was on the special teams play, was injured. The training staff, even though he's right near the sideline, so he's not available defensively.
Longest field goal of Milo's career is 55. Pressure coming. Riley for Silstrip. Got it. Can't get out of bounds. Good tackle by Adam Tebow. Pressed into action here in the late stages. Lining up quickly. 2nd and 4. And play halted.
Now Jason Moss is going to...
Timeout. Calgary.
Stampeders didn't have the right personnel on the field, and a timeout called. Winton McManus ran off the field. I think they might have been a man short. Well, they had Jameer Thurman on again.
Timer, please reset.
Maybe that was the issue.
20 seconds.
He's got to wait 20 plays.
He's got to go back off for 2 more plays.
There's Ciante Evans on the sidelines now. Jamar Wall just walked by. There's 3 starters right there on defense watching.
Mike Riley might have a shot at this area of the field here. Calgary Stampeders playing way off to not give up one behind them.
Riley throws for Walker. Walker's going to get to the sideline, stops the clock at the 45, 14 seconds left. Time for a couple plays to get into field goal range. About 15, 20 yards away from getting into decent Milo range. Guy who was a scout just over a week ago for Edmonton in retirement. Riley sidesteps, and now a jump for Williams, and he can't bring that one down. Jock Bell there defensively. 7 seconds to go.
This is our last play. Hey, let's go.
Well, this is down to possibly the final throw here. This is the spot that I'm talking about that Mike Riley has not taken a shot at, right over the middle. How soft Calgary's playing. I don't want to give one up in behind him, but they're choosing to work the sideline. I know they need to stop the clock.
Need about 20 in 6 seconds. Riley steps up. He goes over the middle. Shoots for down. There is time. And they'll get a chance to kick from 46 out for Chris Milo.
There it is. The young guys back there were playing off. They're playing way off. First 2 throws, Riley works the sideline to also work the clock. I get that, but now they've got to get it done. They go right down the middle.
Out as they mark it just inside the 40. He hit from 46 on Labor Day, but not with the kind of pressure that he has right now. .47 yards away from tying it up. It's a 7-game win streak for the Calgary Stampeders. As Pitts brings it out, hits the deck, and the Stamps have done it again. 25-22, and they're now 9-1-1.
Hold looked good, snap looked good, timing was there. Just a flat-out miss. Lace away. Just push it wide right. What a game. What a football game.
Terrific fourth quarter. Eskimos drive in the late stages, under 2 minutes to go. They score a touchdown to take the lead. Bull Levi Mitchell takes them right back and survives that last second 46-yard field goal attempt. 4 consecutive losses for Edmonton. Dave Dickinson salutes the Calgary fans who made the trip and get rewarded with another Calgary victory. Time now for the Nissan Titan Player of the Game.
Honorable mention to Bo Levi Mitchell, Brandon Zylstra, and to Mike Riley in the losing cause, but we watched 2 defensive tackles go to work tonight. Montesquieu played great as well. We're going to give it to Micah Johnson because he's on the winning side of the score. Those 2 tackles were dominant in the middle, both of them.
Nissan Titan Player of the Game brought to you by the Nissan Titan, the official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. 3 games on this day, and all 3 were beauties. The Labor Day rematch rarely disappoints. 25-22 the final. Back to Rod Smith.
Thank you, Chris. And with that third game, the Calgary Stampeders solidify their place on top of the West, on top of the entire Canadian Football League standings. What a day it's been for 9 hours of football, 3 games, and we'll have more to talk about coming up. Sports Center next here on TSN. Thanks for watching.